Hello, welcome to another episode of
Happy
Last
Martin
Week on
Luther
Kicking.
King Day.
Yes.
Happy Martin
Free at
Luther King
last.
Day.
Okay. Free at last. Black people working on MLK just as he dreamed by the character inside, not our skin.
Rod and Karen Morrow, hello. Is it a thing? Is it a motherfuck of a thing that the inauguration of Trump the second time happens to be, and it's not always this way, happens to be on MLK Day?
Yep. Sure is.
And, okay.
And
nothing asked and answered.
Yeah. Nothing.
Yeah.
You get it.
Yeah. I have to assume. I have to assume. Yeah.
Fuck. But today is actually a day we celebrate the NBA because the NBA celebrates Martin Luther King Day every year,
the league.
whether it's inauguration or not. Yeah. And we have games 20 the whole day from noon till the end of the night. We had a noon nationally televised game, the Charlotte Hornets. Karen and I went and we won. We beat the Dallas Mavericks, and it was a fun time.
It was a sold out game. We walked up and we looked at that line. I said, God damn. Then I remembered. I was like, oh, I'm a season ticket holder. I'm not standing in this long ass line.
We went to we got bobbleheads because we came in early. Okay. So we got Brandon Miller bobbleheads, and I gave mine away to this family. This guy took his son to the game, and they had clearly bought the tickets from other season ticket holders, and they were like, I said, "Are you guys Hornets fans?" And he said, "Yeah." And his son had a little sign that was like, "Put me on TV."
Yeah.
Did you say name 3 songs?
No. They were cheering. We don't have 3 songs, Keith.
Okay.
We're the Hornets.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the one song. So, but yeah, I said, you guys Hornets fans, because sometimes people buy those tickets to watch the other team, obviously, because we suck. And he was like, yeah, we're Hornets fans. We're going to a couple games. You guys Hornets fans? Like, we're season ticket holders. We're Hornets fans. And I was like, did you guys get here early enough for the bobbleheads? And he said no. And I was like, here you go, man. You can have mine. He gave it to his son. He said, it's my son's birthday. Oh. And I was like, wow, what kismet, I think is what they call it.
Yeah.
What an amazing moment. So happy MLK, little white boy. Happy birthday. I'm glad. Baby. Hopefully you'll grow up and not be racist, because you'll be like, remember the black man who gave me shit on Martin Luther King at the basketball game?
That was cool day. It was me.
So, happy MLK, everybody.
You think the dad's like, he wasn't real. He was an angel.
Yeah. Yeah. In his life, I'm the magical Negro that they have in these movies that makes white people's lives better for no reason.
Right.
Like, you take this, son, and you be somebody.
Go live your life.
You a good white man.
Be better than me.
I know we're going to go over, of course, the last solo show that I did, but not to jump ahead too much. The poll was, will you see the inauguration live at keithandthegirl.com/forums? I'm the only one who said yes.
Wow.
And I missed it. I was at the doctor's office.
Oh, shit. 0 people watched it live.
Right.
I didn't watch it. I refused.
I mean, it's an all day thing too, right? So I didn't get to the clips yet either, but I will eventually.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. You know that we won't be able to miss the clips online. Right. People are going to share. I've already seen 2 or 3 clips, and I didn't have time to be on Twitter today, barely, and I saw stuff. So we'll see it.
I saw Elon Musk give a full fucking Nazi salute, and I'm not exaggerating.
Twice.
He put his hand, he said, thank you, thanks for helping us get to this point. Couldn't have done it without you. Puts his slams, and I get he's autistic. I promise I get that. Slams his hand on his fucking chest and then throws his hand up in a way that nobody would wave.
Right.
I mean, we know this, right? That we're not exaggerating these things.
Right. No, and then turned around and did it to the flag. So he did it twice in the video clip I saw, as if to be sure, like, no, I meant this shit, guys. This was not coincidence. No. Now, will he deny it later? Yes. Someone's going to ask him. He's going to say, you guys are being weird, man. Yeah. I was just waving to the people. I've already seen someone share a clip of Kamala Harris at the DNC when she was waving, but it's a still shot of her waving and being like, it's the same picture. It's like, okay. All right, we're doing this.
Well, I saw both videos, so it's not the same.
Yeah. So one of them, Beyonce was singing Freedom, and he was saying Hail Hitler. So
right.
I think there's a difference.
I would call them different, but
yeah,
What am I
was
say?
I was in a more comfortable place than watching the inauguration. I was at the doctor's office.
You know how much you hate the doctor.
Oh my God. So I'm getting back, I kind of let it go. My knee mostly was the big thing. Right. And I had like a pain specialist, and surprise, the specialist is giving me drugs. And then eventually I'm like, all right, these PRPs aren't working. This isn't working. I think I need surgery. He's like, okay. Right. I'm like, and he goes, oh yeah, I don't know anybody. I'm like, what the fuck? And that's
you have to get references.
This is years ago, and that's why I gave up. And so I started following up again and doing things, and the MRIs came back for the knee, and then recently the shoulder's fucking up again from an accident 20 years ago. A big jerk-off accident. By the way, best load I ever pulled.
Of course.
Of course. I think I
had to go for
it. Do it in style.
And so somebody in the Keith and the Girl chat said, so you have your results yet? And I'm like, no, but I'm gonna. And also, I know my results. I just need this new doctor to know the results. And so he sees them and he's like, oh, yeah, so I have to send you somewhere for surgery. I'm like, yeah. I mean, what's another $25 for you to me to show up in person? Okay, yeah.
Right.
But that's like, when doctors get those $25, and I'm assuming it doesn't go to like secretary bonuses.
Right.
Do they laugh like, hey, this lunch is on Three Guys today, honey? For no fucking reason. Now, I know we have our house and our pool and our mansion because of this and that, but just the little bonuses, isn't it fun? Baby, take an Uber from work. Keith showed up again for no fucking reason.
Keith, it wouldn't be surprising if they did like the tips. They just steal it. The insurance company take it and be like, y'all deal with the rest.
Crazy. I always do wonder how do they get the rest of the money, because I assume the insurance company gives them something for like they're not only because $25 is not enough for them to sustain.
No,
so like our $25 in cash or whatever that is pocket change for sure. That's spending money.
My insurance company, and I'm sure it's yours too, they're pretty clear what they spend out. Yeah, like, we just need you to know it's not a bill. Legally, we have to tell you that, not to scare you. We need you to know though. You really needed $1,015 MRI. That's what you needed. And we gave it to you.
Right. It would have been $500, but we were feeling nice and did our part that we promised to do.
Just thank us.
Because we take your money monthly.
Right. Meanwhile, they didn't give them the real $500.
They
like I know the numbers between my $20 and that $500. I just want to know what the real number is, doctors. I know some of you doctors listen. Right in. Let us know. Like, what's the real number when I give you 20 and the insurance company tells me they gave you 700? What did you really get? 100?
Hold on. I have an email from a doctor right now. Ha, 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 ha. Fuck you. Just laughing at us. And I have my colonoscopy, my first one.
Yeah.
Just feels like time.
To the club.
I don't even mean like, I'm just feeling around. Yeah, it feels like time. I'm like, all right, I'm 50. I guess I gotta. That's the 22nd. I start with the liquids tomorrow, the 21st. So I might not be around. I don't know how bad it gets.
Karen just had hers. Okay. I've had mine last year. Okay. Matter of fact, when we get into the episode, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll walk you through
we're gonna have a good discussion, guys. I'm gonna start
about
first.
That colon.
Let me start first with this, though.
Please.
Minimum wage. All right. Actually, no, sponsor. Sorry, forgot about the sponsors. Sure, today's sponsor is, of course, the post office. That's right, guys.
Okay.
The post office. We forget about them all the time. All right. We go, I'll just get it online. Amazon can just ship it to me. Who needs the post? Well, it's tax time. It's time to start mailing some stuff. All y'all can't do electronic. So maybe you should go to the post office. Okay. You go in there because we're feeling down. We look at who's in charge. We don't know how long post office even going to be working anymore.
Ain't that the truth?
We don't know what the employee's going to look like. So you go in there and you start feeling better about your life outside the post office. Okay. Like, you know what? Life's not so bad. Okay. I'm not in here worried about my coworker shooting me. I don't have this funky, drafty smell in my house. Personally, it's only in here. Where is it piss? Is it mold? I don't know what it is, but it's probably
it's
not healthy.
It's not just the smell of like styrofoam in boxes. A FedEx doesn't smell like that.
No, it's just the post office, and it has its own smell, and it's only there. It's
only there.
There's no library smells like that. It's just the post. But you need to get that in your nostrils so you can appreciate when you don't have it. When you're in your house and you're like, oh yeah, I like it here. That customer service, there's nothing like it at other than the post office customer service. Do you step up front in the line? Yes, no. Do you follow the signs? Are you doing it wrong? You're doing it wrong, guys. That's what you're gonna find out. Whatever you did, whatever
it's not
choice.
Right.
She's not ready for you to get up there. What are you doing? This is a fucking stand behind the line. Hey, dumbass, why are you standing behind the line? I don't have anybody in my fucking way. Stupid. You need that. Okay, you need to feel connection, people. We're all alone now.
It's what it means to be human.
How much does a stamp cost these days? None of us knows.
Right.
None of us knows.
They don't even know. They call them forever now. I stand in line forever. I pay forever.
Right. I don't know. They don't even care anymore. They're like, whatever you paid that day, that's what it is for the rest of your life if you want to use it. Who gives a fuck? It's never not enough and it's never too much, but it probably costs a lot. Okay?
I do remember back in my day, sometimes I didn't judge the weight of an envelope right, and it got returned to me. Do you notice that never happens anymore?
Never happens. Never happens. You can put a fucking envelope in if it fits in a fucking envelope, they're good with it.
Yeah, there's an forever stamp. We good.
Forever stamps, because they're like, we got forever. Do it look like we in a rush?
No.
Do it look like we got somewhere to go? Do it look like we think you got somewhere to go? No. And that's why we go to the post office, guys. So listen, go to the post office. It's not a website. You need to physically get up and go in there. Tell them last week on Keith and the Girl sent you. Go postal. Okay, do it today.
Oh no, the wrong type of postal.
No, just go postal. Just go in there and say, I'm going postal. Keith and the Girl sent me. And then
you don't have to say that part.
Okay, well, I want us to get credit for our, we've only made $2 off of these ads.
You could say Rod and Karen.
Okay, yeah. Rod and Karen said, go postal for Keith and the Girl.
Well, don't even.
Because it's for last week on Keith and the Girl. It only makes sense if we bring Keith and the Girl.
No.
All right. And of course.
Oh, thank God they're closed today. Shit.
They are. They're closed.
All right. And of course, as we're talking about going postal, we got to bring up minimum wage.
Yes.
Now, there's a couple stories I could share. Okay.
But he goes, but here's why I killed a person today.
Okay. The first one is I went to Wendy's, guys. They say never be the news, never be the story. I'm going to read two stories. All right.
Okay.
The first one is less rage, but still crime. Burger King employee fired after woman says her order came with a side of cannabis.
Oh, why are you returning?
First of all, that's the healthiest thing they give.
The least amount of calories.
Only thing organic in the whole restaurant.
Right.
And you just you spit in their face. They hooked you up. Of all the things we get that we don't ask for in the restaurant.
You would have never blood again.
Bullets, cursed out. They gave you weed. And you're like, I'm telling. We're not built the same. This is in
crazy.
Ohio.
I remember being a waiter. And I would sneak somebody a dessert. Then they go to the boss and go, he gave me free dessert. Thanks. It's like, motherfucker.
What's wrong with you?
What is wrong
with you? What is wrong with you?
People don't understand hookups.
I'd rather you throw it in the trash than tell my fucking boss, narc.
Yes.
An Ohio woman is speaking out after allegedly receiving marijuana in a drive-thru of a Burger King location.
Yes.
In a video posted to TikTok. Right, you snitch. This is why they deserve. We should take the app away. Everyone was right. The Republicans and the Democrats agreed on one fucking thing, and apparently, I agree with them too now. A user who goes by the name of Jana Bama claims to have purchased chicken fries for her children with a Burger King location in Hamilton. She shows a Burger King bag in a video with reported residue inside of it, along with marijuana she says came with her child's food. Cannot make this up, said the post caption. I didn't ask for a side of this, because she had to be sassy about it.
Right.
Just throw it away if you ain't gonna smoke it.
Burger King spokesperson said they contacted the franchisee of this restaurant immediately upon learning of the incident, can confirm the employee in question has been terminated. We were very disappointed to learn of the incident. Do not take incidents that put our guests in danger lightly. A spokesperson for the police said that no reports have been made regarding the incident, but officials are actively investigating the incident. So
you don't take it lightly. You ever secret shop around the country? There's gotta be bosses even more than managers that go on road trips and are forced to stop at a fast food restaurant that they half own.
Right.
You know who's working.
Right. Also, like, my hot take, I don't think they did any investigating at all. I don't think anyone got fired.
They don't care.
I think they just said it to shut her up. I think BurgerKing.com, Burger King at Burger King on TikTok was like, yeah, we took care of it. It's all been handled. They're fired. No need to look into it. You can come to Burger King and not get weed. And then they all went in the back and laughed and got high and was like, can you believe this bitch?
Right. The Burger King on the cartoon looking Burger King on those commercials. He comes on Zoom and he's like, I assume he doesn't work there anymore. It's like, sure, he never did. That's what I like to hear.
Yes, exactly. I do want that. Every time I read one of these statements, I want it to be Ronald McDonald or whoever.
You roll.
Yeah. We said have it your way. Security guard dies from shooting at McDonald's in North Baltimore.
Oh no.
Security guard.
Well, I've seen these security guards and they're not really paying attention, in all fairness. So he never saw it coming, which is
Do they even have weapons? Because, a lot of them, depending on the security, they don't really have weapons.
I've never felt secure by a security guard.
Have a long ass flashlight. What they gonna do? Just knock you out?
I've never thought to myself, "Oh, thank God, security is here."
I never thought to take one for their service once.
Right
on
once.
My way out, ever.
Not once. Police respond to around 4 p.m. to a fast food restaurant in Reisterstown Road, where they found a man identified as 38-year-old Jamal Davis suffering from gunshot wounds. He was taken to the hospital where he died. Okay. He was shot at the entrance of the restaurant during an altercation. The McDonald's local owner and operator said, I am in shock and completely devastated by the tragic and senseless act of violence that occurred at my restaurant this afternoon.
That's the tone he said it in too, by the way.
Yeah.
This is flabbergasting.
Yeah.
I am appalled.
Her name is Denitra Bell, but in my mind, I always picture it as Ronald McDonald speak.
I have 0% tolerance for this behavior. Now hiring.
Right.
Yep.
They just flip over the sign to now hiring. Right. Like, oh man, damn shame.
Open to close.
21 fry salute.
When they say 1 billion served, I thought they meant food.
No.
Okay. Like served in court, served
bullets.
No, they served in the field of battle called McDonald's. You do your now. I thank them for their service.
Yes, sir.
You walk up to a McDonald's employee behind the register, and I
salute them.
They give me an extra sauce. I turn around and say thank you for your service.
I have veteran written on my license, and they don't. That's bullshit.
Yeah, right. How was that fair?
I did 4 years in fast food, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I kill a grown ass man. Okay.
Hey.
I learned some things. Anyway, they said my condolences go out to the victim's family and loved ones, especially his son.
Oh, Grimace.
Where did you come from?
She continued, as a local McDonald's franchisee, I have always been deeply committed to providing a safe and welcoming environment for my team and customers. For almost 2 decades, this McDonald's restaurant has been a place of community and safety, and I am committed to taking every possible step to ensure that this remains our case moving forward.
And kids' parties, the packages are now 10% off.
Right. You know what? One sauce on the house, everybody.
Right.
Okay.
Trick or treating, it's just sauces. They put a bowl of sauces, one only. And there's a security guard with a weapon.
Yeah. When someone dies, they pour out a little sauce.
Right.
Oh no!
Like, damn, not for the dead homie. This song dedicated. The first homicide of the new year took place. Oh no! Then they just went on that's fucked up. This whole article isn't just about this man dying. Mm-hmm. They move on to like there's another homicide in Baltimore already. This is the second one of 2025. You didn't even give my man a full article.
Right.
Oh my God.
And well, let's move to the next death.
What does that say about how fucking dangerous these places are?
Yeah.
The news is like, that's a half article. I mean, like he died. It's fucked up. I think we get it. We get it.
We had to do a 2-for-1.
Where'd you say this? It happened? Burger King. Yeah, that's on. You got to come up with another 400 words, man.
That's not gonna be enough.
That's a Pepsi Cola of fast food. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I just picture the editor being like, "We can't run this because it's not news." Can you tie it to all the homicides in Baltimore? Maybe then we got a story like it's 2 homicides and it's only 20 days into the year. Run that story, but no, this McDonald's shit. No, this is we don't cover that. It won't even be fucking a blotter. Just give us a full story, all right?
They're like, you know how you ever read the New York Times cooking section, and the guy's like, what? It's like, anyways, start with, I've been to a Burger King a few times as a kid.
Yes.
My favorite story is, anyway, she's dead.
Right. Yes. My mother used to take us to Burger King.
When my mom would make her own burgers with vegetables coming out the sides, well, it killed me. But not like this. In Charlotte.
Right. Oh, man. Shout out to allrecipes.com. Okay. I've never skipped more fucking jump to recipe buttons in my fucking life.
Yeah. You click on it
in the summer of 76, the squash famine hit Iowa. Like, what?
Yeah,
what the fuck is wrong with you?
People act like they don't remember what Biden did. Biden insisted there's a law that you have to have skip to recipes right up front.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I love that he made our lives better in so many little ways.
Yes.
Okay? Yeah, it's the small things that matter.
This is how much Ticketmaster is fucking you. Like, I like to know that. You know what? Thank you. I knew they were fucking me, but I had just been suspecting it all this time. Now I know it's $47 of dick that they're just sliding up in me every time I hit accept. These motherfuckers. All right. Let's get into these episodes. All right. Okay. We had the solo episode, and then we had Q&A.
Yes.
And then we'll talk about some news of the day, which I'll let Keith do.
All right.
Episode 3885, Mr. and Mr. Dumbass.
Mr. and Mrs. Dumbass. Yes.
After Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
That is after Mr. and Mrs. Smith. This was Liz's idea. I'm like, hey, sometimes she doesn't even hear the show yet because I'm still doing notes. And I go, here's the notes. What's hitting you? It's about the dumbest fucking people alive, this show. It's about a woman in an MRI machine with a butt plug that has metal in it. It's about, I finally saw the Smile, end of Smile 2. Fake Brad Pitt steals $1 million from a woman and convinces her to divorce the husband. She's shit out of luck on all accounts. The Apprentice about Donald Trump. It's about everybody being dumb. What do we think? And she started looking up Brad Pitt movies. And right away, the first one, she goes, Mr. and Mrs. Dumbass. And I went,
perfect.
Sold.
That was perfect. I really did like that.
Good.
Yes. I do want to know what hit the cutting room floor for her though. Now I want to know.
Yeah.
Because
we have some stuff that dies.
She's like Benjamin Button, but butt was spelled with just like Buttin apostrophe. Like I don't know. They don't all work. That's why you have
That's why you brainstorm
to get to the goal. She was probably solving crosswords in between this or something, you know?
Right. Well, she said she's like, I had another idea. I'm like, nope, this is it. Done.
It do happen like that sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes we wrap up our show and we be about to do the titles. And I'm like, is this right? And she's like, it's that. I'm like, yep, all right.
Yeah, because we both will have jotted it down.
Yeah, it's like no need. I mean, you can tell me the secondary ideas if you want to hear me go.
No, right. Or just be happy now.
I'm not gonna waste my time.
Yeah, we had it. We had it. What was doing Micah and Tim's podcast like this time?
So this was just Tim. And it was very fun. And I mentioned this in that show that when I did the show with the two of them not too long ago, somebody wrote in and was like, Keith's a fan. In fact, he was just he acted like he was just watching the Micah and Tim show. And I kind of was, because we were sitting 3 in a row facing forward at a camera. I'm in the middle. Like, at least curve the. I don't say nothing because it's their show and we'll see how it goes. But curve the fucking chairs a little bit.
Right.
I really have to look back and forth and then duck my head when they're trying to make eye contact. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that's what I feel I should do as a good guest. So yeah, to jump in was kind of awkward. Me and Tim did this over Zoom, and it was seamless. I could see dating him.
We love
until he called me a dumb bitch.
Yeah, of course. And you're like, I have self-respect, and it's not as funny to me.
Right. But it's very fun. It's on their Patreon.
Colonoscopy time.
Yes.
Karen got hers this Friday.
Okay.
I was her designated driver.
Okay. I'm thinking of pretending to have one. People are warning me, like, you don't want to go through the diuretic shit, and then they don't let you have it. But I think I'll just lie. And if they don't let me, they're going to let me leave. And if they don't let me leave, then I'll really call somebody. But I'll just say, yeah, they're coming.
Karen, do you want to take it?
Thoughts?
Yeah.
And how under are you?
You're under.
Really?
Like
you won't remember that they went in your butt.
You really won't.
I didn't.
Because what happened was, I don't know how it is there, but here you go up and the person actually has to be present with you. Like, you can't go up by yourself. You and that person goes up to, because it was like a bunch of us in there, and everybody went up like 2 by 2. And it was like, are you the person? And they have like their contact information. They had their telephone number and everything. And it was like, you cannot leave the site. They tell the person, you can't leave, like, because
I couldn't even, like, now, in all fairness, they told me I couldn't leave. But they also said now this is Charlotte, North Carolina, but they said I could wait in my car in the parking lot if I wanted to. Now, it's 20 degrees out there. I'm not doing that. But it made me think, like, and how the fuck do you know if I left? Like, if I'm going to go to the parking lot and then I just fucking take a trip to Kroger. Like, you guys don't fucking know. You got a fucking Bluetooth on me. But I didn't, of course, because I love my wife and I'm a good person, unlike her, who went and got something to eat while I was under.
I was on the premises. They had a cafeteria there, and I was hungry. I was in the building, and then I couldn't remember how to get back to you.
Yeah, I'm sure I wasn't as hungry after fasting for 24 hours.
And did she say to you, do you want anything? And you're like, shut the fuck up. Yes, I'm starving.
She just waited till she just left. She waited till I was under. And then she was late getting back when I came out of my anesthesia. She just, they were like, we're looking for your wife. And I was like, now, why would someone need to look for a person whose only job is to wait for me to be ready in a way that I would never do to the person that I love? But
no, he did not.
Not everybody loves each other equally.
So that's what's going to happen to me, I think. It's going to, if they did make me stay and I'm like, they should be here any minute. It's going to be like when my dad didn't pick me up from extracurricular activities. And I was left at the school like hours after a fact. So we would come back from band, for example.
Right.
And it takes, I'm like, hey, Dad, we're done, because I know how long it's going to take them. Meanwhile, you're putting your instrument away. You're taking that, Marx Brothers fucking
it takes a while
for
you to get done.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I shouldn't help you with this, because it's probably dangerous, and they probably had these rules for good fucking reason and shit. And in case the doctors fuck up and you internally bleed to death, and it's like,
don't remember anything.
Damn, Keith died on the subway, and it's like, how the fuck did that happen?
Yeah, actually,
didn't he have a person with him like you're supposed to have? He's like, he was gonna beat the system.
Here's my point. My music director, for example, he comes out and I'm embarrassed alone just standing there. Everybody's home, people.
Right.
We're kids. People are missing fucking legs from sports, and somehow they get home faster than me, just standing outside like an idiot. And he goes, and I go, you can go though. My dad will be here. Can you tell my face? I'm
the doctors will let you do that?
And the teacher, and he went, legally I can't. And then 10 minutes would go by, and my teacher went, so you're good, right? He's coming?
Right.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
That's what I think the doctors
You're thinking the doctors will stay until closing time and then be like, all right, now it's not.
Yeah, you're free to go.
When is your appointment? Is it at the end of the day? Afternoon. So if they close at 5 and you get done at 4:30, maybe they'll just give up. Maybe.
I think if I'm just taking up a major bed that they need.
I want you to, as always, like, you have to take what I say with a grain of salt.
Sure.
Because your life is entertainment for me.
Thank you.
At the end of the day, I'm going to be here next week or whatever. laughing about whatever happened to you. Okay. So this may not be the best advice as a friend that I'm giving you.
Right.
But for the show, I say go for it because I would like to know if this is possible.
Yeah. They might cancel the appointment.
My guess is if you don't have a person with you, they gonna be like, you just can't get the fucking thing.
Yeah, they're not gonna put you
until you have a person. And the only way around it
I
is
will not. Well, they
Mm-hmm.
said, or somebody outside. They said something like that.
Okay.
But they want me to come in half hour early.
Okay.
Then this thing is what? At least 20 minutes. I'm not asking somebody to wait all the time. I'm not doing it.
Well, it's actually longer than the 20 minutes. It'll be like an hour to 2 hours that you'll be.
I'm not asking anybody to do that. If my lover was here, then she'd be happy to do it. But I'm not asking anybody.
Do you think it's because you're a man? Because when I was there, I noticed there were several women there who had women friends that were waiting for them. And I know because they were very loud when they were talking about it. Like, are y'all just want us to not know you're gay? Like, why the fuck are y'all telling the waiting room to be like, girl, listen, I'm gonna wait for you now. I'm gonna go to the car, but I'm gonna be right here. This is my friend. I was like, okay, we fucking get it. This is a sketch.
Maybe thank you for being a friend.
Are you gay? And you're worried that Trump's coming to power, and this is your way of tricking us to not.
We don't care.
But yeah, I did see women that had just friends wait on them, but I didn't see any men. Men either had like a mom or a wife.
Yeah. Men have moms and wives.
Those are the only people I saw.
Because we're sweeter. Because we respect people's times.
Mm-hmm.
You're not coming home with me. Like you're really just doing it for show. Thanks for wasting 2 hours. Yes, I can take a car or subway now. Here's a couple bucks for.
So here's my
sandwich.
Here's my workaround.
Okay.
I don't know. You probably don't even want to do this. It's probably too much hassle. But I feel like you should be able to have a person come in, pretend that they're gonna wait, and then they just fucking leave. And then when it's over, because y'all don't have cars up there, you mostly have like subway, right? So you just be they're outside, and they'll probably let you walk out.
That's smart because I'm not wasting their time. I'm telling them the time ahead of time.
Yeah, because I know here they actually take you physically out. They was like, nope, we're going to put you in a wheelchair and we're going to roll your ass out.
But y'all don't have cars, so I bet they don't. I wonder if they do that part with the wheelchair and the rollout, because they did it for me and they did it for Karen, but they rolled us out to our car.
Right.
To know that a person was there. But if you're going to get on the subway, how the fuck they going to roll?
You can't be rolling me out in those New York City sloshy snow streets.
Yeah. And if nothing else, you get to do it twice, and we get 2 stories.
You get a cancellation fee and be mad.
I'll just be cleaned out extra. But so you really put out.
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take to come to? Like I had regular surgery. That takes a long time.
Karen, when she got out, was still out of it. And she clearly thought she was not out of it, because I said, she's like really groggy and laid back and kind of slurring a bit. And I said,
I didn't know. I thought I was speaking normally.
I said, I know you're hungry. Do you want to get something to eat? And she was like, yeah. You're like, yeah, whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. We can order food from this place. I said, and I'm trying to gauge how messed up she is. So I'm like, you want to eat in or you want to like pick it up? And she's like, we can eat in. I was like, no, we're going to pick it up. We're going to pick it up. Fine.
I don't know how in my brain, I was sounding fine, but apparently I was not. You are like under.
By the time we got home though, like it wasn't as bad as like surgery, but by the time we got home, which was like 20 to 30 minutes later, she was operating enough to to sit up and maybe hold a conversation, but not enough to like, if we needed to do something with coordination, she couldn't do it. Yeah, she needed to sleep too.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because the thing is, you're going to be really exhausted, Keith, because
Well, I'm not going to just fall in the middle of the street and sleep. You know what I mean? Right. I'll know where to sleep. Did you guys have trouble walking? Like, if you were by yourself, would you have trouble walking?
I would have.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I don't know about Roger.
At least, like I said, for that first 15 to 30 minutes, yes. But then after she walked in the house decent. Like once we got home, she walked in the house fine. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, you'll be a little delayed. It's New York. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen to you on the subway if you're looking delayed? Nothing, right?
Nothing. They'll be like, oh, this is normal behavior. And you go.
I douse myself in water on the way out.
Yes. And Keith, it was hilarious. The dude was like, I'm gonna put this up underneath your nose. They do like the oxygen.
Okay.
And he was like, it won't take long. And Keith, it literally didn't take long. I was like, oh, this is the oxygen.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I never made it to the fucking count or whatever.
No, nothing was
like count backwards from 99. I was like, 8. I was like, all right. And I just woke up and was like, my butt doesn't hurt.
No, you
sure you guys went in there?
You don't hurt. And for mine, they had to do both ways because I have what was an acid reflux a little bit. Mm-hmm. So they would have to test on both ends.
Different hoses though.
Mm-hmm. I hope so. Yeah, or at least one before the other.
He's like, we gotta save. We gotta conserve this plastic, guys.
Yeah,
recycle.
What do you guys do? So of course they told me what to do, and it's like, so tomorrow at like 3 p.m. the party starts, and I drink my bullshit, and I can have like, and then lunch. They tell you breakfast, lunch, dinner.
They do, but it's all bullshit. They printed a thing out, and you can't trick me. You're just calling things lunch. It's not lunch. Mm-hmm. It's not breakfast. Right. They're like, for breakfast, you can have black coffee, no cream, no sugar, and an ice cube. For lunch, you can have a sip of water and some Gatorade, as long as it's a right color, and some broth. And I'm like, these are not foods or meals. This is me drinking more liquids and you pretending that I'm eating food.
Yes, and Keith, that's why I did my first thing smoking. I was like, I don't want to know. I was like, let's get this bullshit over with.
She did. What she's saying is she did it at 6:15 a.m.
Oh, okay. So I had. I could either do it like 11 or whatever, and I'm like, well, what's the difference? Right. But it is funny though. It's like, whenever you show up, whether it's you earlier in the morning, Karen, or me later in the afternoon, it starts at 3 p.m. the day before.
Right.
Then 8 p.m. is your next thing. Yeah, I'm looking at breakfast. 4 ounces white grape juice, 6 ounces clear broth, Jello tea. I'm like, I don't drink tea. Is that really important? Tea? Is that really going to satisfy me? Tea? Lunch.
You will be hungry.
Of course. A lunch, apple 4 ounces apple juice instead of grape juice. Then dinner, 4 ounces of lemonade instead. And you know what I did? Honestly, I went I was at the store today. I bought all these different juices. Like, that'll be a nice change of pace.
Yep.
That's how they get.
I did that the first time too. My time too. I was like, I guess I'll get all the things on the list, and I drank like 2 of them. It was like, yeah, you know. And then the thing is, once you start the cleanse, you're not gonna want to fucking eat anything.
You will.
Your body's gonna be purging itself. The last thing you're thinking is, I should give it more fuel.
You're gonna be so full of liquid.
You have to drink 48 ounces of liquid to go with the shit that's gonna make you shit anyway. So it's like, I'm not hungry anymore. You're right. I will take. I'm looking now. I'm like 4 ounces of grape juice. Oh.
I got the box today at the pharmacy. Holy shit! It does look like
heavy.
A lot.
It's heavy.
Right.
I don't know how yours is, but ours came in 2 bottles.
2 bottles and then some mixer, whatever the fuck.
Yeah. And it's like, I like when I was there, they're like I like they were giving me a treat. That's like, and you don't have to have water. It can be ginger ale.
It could be
apple juice. I'm like, I'm gonna beat
yourself up.
I'm gonna be shitting it out, and I guarantee whatever I'm mixing with, it's gonna taste more like that than it's gonna taste like the apple juice.
I tried apple juice, and yes, no matter what you blended with, and it has to be something clear too.
Yeah.
So no matter what you blended with, it's gonna taste like the medicine.
It can be anything you want to make nasty. Apple juice can taste nasty. Ginger ale can taste nasty.
Your favorite drinks,
water, whatever.
You can have any kind of jelly you want. Not red, not purple. Right. You see, we're full on idiots, and if we see red or purple of any kind, we'll assume it's blood. Anyway,
we will cut your fucking intestines out. Yeah, so don't do that.
Run it, and then tell you to come back because we had Jello.
I went to the store for Karen because she's like, I need Jello, and I go to the store, and it's only red and purple. I was like, what the fuck? How's that possible?
Even the most popular colors.
Even if I close my eyes and imagine Jello, I'm like, all the colors of the rainbow. And these motherfuckers like just the ones you can't have. I had to go to
cherry,
another store.
Strawberry, raspberry,
fruit.
Yeah,
fruit punch. They're all fucking the same red and purple dye. And then we go. So then I go, Karen, you want to go with me in the store because it wasn't at the store. We go to the store, go to the Jello section. Keith. She goes for the red and orange Jello.
I didn't realize it was a combo pack. I would take that back. I didn't know it was a combo pack.
Keith.
Yeah, those are the colors.
Orange.
Yeah.
Why does Karen think that the doctors are competent enough to be like, red, obviously don't do that. Orange, no, that's orange. That's fine.
Right.
Ronzi was like, no,
you green.
So I did lime.
Yeah,
I did lime.
That's what I got too. I got green.
Yeah. Come on. What the fuck? You have to do this shit twice.
I said this one. I was like, oh shit, it's a combo. They had orange and red. I was like, why the fuck would they have a combo?
But she's still saying it. I don't. She doesn't understand what she did wrong. She doesn't understand what she did wrong.
He's saying orange is so. He's saying orange is so close to red. Why fuck around with even orange?
Right. It's close enough to it.
But why do you keep bringing up that it was a combo? It was a combo of two wrong things. If it was a combo of green and orange, then we can have a discussion. I'm like, well, just only eat the green ones. Don't eat the orange ones.
Right.
What are you gonna do when I'm not here? Are you just gonna keep going to the doctor and be like, you're full of orange shit. We can't do this.
So
well, apparently if you're not there, she can never go again. Apparently.
Right. Apparently so.
Just waste my mom's time or whoever's in the lobby. Like,
waiting on me.
You can come right away. It's like, but it hasn't even been 10 minutes. She's full of orange, and we don't know why she would do that because
this doesn't make any sense.
Orange and red are really fucking close on the color chart. And no
you don't have a mental doctor in here, do you?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and also, Keith, at the end, they give you like this printout. And the printout actually shows you the shots of your insides.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
And you're like, okay.
You'll love that.
Yeah, they was like,
love that.
They was like, you are clean. You didn't have no problems. They was like, then they was like, we'll see you in 10 years. I said, 10 years? I said, great. See you in 10 years.
All right.
And you can eat right after, I guess?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you won't be, the anesthesia won't make you throw up or anything.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
So you'll want to eat and you'll hold it down.
Yeah.
You'll probably sleep.
Eat.
Then you'll probably sleep.
The doctor said, when do you want to make your appointment? I'm like, well, apparently I got to find somebody to date. So give that a little bit.
All right. Well, you're like scrolling. Let me go on Tinder real quick or something. Like, why isn't there an app for that?
Yeah. like a rent a friend.
Why isn't there an app for that? Just like colonoscopy app. We're not dating. We're just matching colonoscopies.
Right? I do have a friend who happens to live right next to where I'm getting it. So, but if there wasn't, like, I'm debating about using her. But if there wasn't, there'd be no fucking way. There'd be no way I'd ask somebody to come down.
Because it could be very inconvenient.
I wonder how many people don't even get it
because of that. Right? They was like, if I have to bring somebody, I can't.
Well, especially in New York, like I feel like
you said, they don't
places where there's cars. I feel like you do need someone. You need someone to drive who's not on anesthesia. That's just fucking.
Because you're going to be a 30-minute drive or 20-minute drive away from wherever it is.
And also because people are pieces of shit, they are definitely going to get in a wreck and then sue the fucking doctor and be like, they let me drive. Well, why would they? And they're like, we fucking told you. Well, I was just driving home. I didn't. But I feel like if you have the subway.
Yeah.
There's people aren't accustomed to having cars and
might not even have a license.
Yeah. But then, it is New York. So maybe they're like, if we let you on the subway fucked up, you're going to sue. I don't know.
Right.
Anyway,
I'll report back. Thank you.
Okay. We'll be here.
Whatever you do, though, make sure you bring a butt plug full of metal. Okay.
Oh, no.
Please don't.
That's definitely part of the story for me, too. I need to see, how can you be that confident in life?
How can you forget it?
I had anxiety the whole time I was eating during the colonoscopy lead up.
Me too.
That like, does this have nuts in it? No, no, I can have. Let me look at the sheet again. Can I?
I was reading that sheet like left and right too.
No, okay. Whole wheat rice, no. White rice, yes. For the 17th time, I'm googling shit.
I was googling shit too. And if you're gonna do broth, my thing is do chicken. It's lighter. Beef broth is nasty. I have a salt and pepper in that shit to taste. It was terrible.
Anyway, my point being, how the fuck are you so confident that you put a butt plug in for funsies? Getting an MRI, that's crazy.
It's crazy. I knew there wasn't metal in my wallet and I didn't leave it in my pocket.
Yeah, because they tell you that, and I'm pretty sure they asked.
Well, honestly, even if it wasn't metal, it's still crazy.
It is.
If it was, even if you knew for a fact the MRI machine won't make this thing explode up my asshole, why are you playing games at the doctor? They can barely do what they need to do when everything's right. You're gonna make it a little harder. Like, I think they can handle a butt plug, guys. I'll be okay.
And I don't know what they were looking at on you, but you don't think there's a chance they're gonna find a butt plug in you that you don't want to talk about?
Right. And they could immediately stop the machine. So don't you think it's a reason why they tell people that? I was like, oh, I know you scream, but you're going to have to wait 2 whole minutes for us to reboot this machine.
Listen, I've heard Keith and him to go in on doctors for 20 years now. But I will tell you this much. Whatever the fuck they say to do on them signs, I just do it.
And me too.
Because here's the thing. If they don't know what they're talking about, and I happen to do the thing that they say to do and it just works out, good. I didn't make it harder for you. But if they are as incompetent as people think they are, why am I putting the game on all Madden? Let's keep it as easy as possible. Yeah. You say no, don't shampoo before the fucking thing, then I won't shampoo. It don't make sense to me why you can't, but I don't have to do your job, and I don't fucking know what the hang up is. I don't know the rules. Did someone smell shampoo on somebody and then they accidentally cut their fucking wrong leg? Whatever the fuck happens, I don't need to know. And I guarantee you, they don't even have to have a don't wear a butt plug thing. It's just like don't have metal in here. I think a butt plug's fine.
Worst case, you get home and you go, I could have had the butt plug.
That's it.
That's the best case for you in that. You know what I mean? The worst.
Is this a story you're gonna tell your fucking grandkids?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And even if it was all plastic, if you have to use any form of battery, it literally doesn't make sense.
It's just a dumb chance to take.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to the post office, you don't cross the line. You do let them fuss at you and tell you to cross the line when it's their time.
Right.
You're like, I know it's part of it is you got to fucking yell at me. I don't walk straight up. I just take the L. You do take the L.
I know what happened. They wanted to be sure that they are in some case study that leaves their name out. And everybody reads it and be like, look at this dumb fuck.
They're a fan of Bummer News. But I'll be on Keith and the Girl.
Yeah, I made it.
Yes, I am somebody now.
They're laid in a body cast in a bed like, honey, play my show. Keith said you're dumb. Yes. Gen Z newspaper thing reminds me of how they can't use rotary phones either because Keith's Gen Z newspaper guy gave him the first section and then put the rest of the newspaper back.
The cover page. So the very first page and last page together, of course. And it's not the only time it happened. At that grocery store, I assume the same guy.
There's something so funny about
how
this.
How could it make any sense? If you never saw a newspaper, like, this is what I get, but each person gets a different sheet?
Right.
You're going to have newspaper left over. I don't understand.
But that's how much they don't understand the concept of a newspaper.
Oh.
Like right now, there's a millennial on TikTok making this video about Keith.
Right.
And he's like, this fucking old fuck he wants all the sheets of paper.
It's like, yes.
But
like,
even
I pay for it.
Why didn't you scan your QR code and digitally go through? Why didn't you Google it or whatever the fuck? It's like it's a newspaper, dog. It's how it works.
If somebody said like, hey, here's an abacus, figure this shit out. I don't just take a marble off of it and give it to one person. It's
right.
I'm like, oh, it must be a thing I don't really understand, but it doesn't mean
But somebody would, Keith. Somebody would. You're not one of the ones that would, but somebody would be like, you just hand each person a marble, and it's like, all right, this is.
You don't need to be over this one.
But yeah, it reminded me of the rotary phone thing
and they'd be so confused.
People were showing their kids rotary phones, being like, how do you dial this? And in my mind, I'm like, duh. And the kids were literally like, I can't figure this out.
And then it was like, it's a dial tone? What is this?
So are we there with newspapers?
Possibility.
I guess so. I guess so. I have seen those the dial thing, the phones, and they're trying to press in the button. You remember this story. This is some time ago now. And we were at a clown party, and Hemda brings face paint. And so then was letting one of the kids do the face paint. And the kid would touch the color of watercolors and then touch Kenda's face, thinking it would just magically go like it's a fucking iPad.
Okay, because that's what they know. They don't realize like this is a tangible thing that you actually have to interact with, right?
But that's crazy.
It is crazy,
but that's what they grew up on.
But this story just made me feel old. Like it obviously shames the kid, but it also made me feel like fuck, man. Newspapers, one of the things now is going the way of rotary phones and fucking like stuff that I grew up and just think is normal. And these motherfuckers are like, how do you play? What's a VCR? And you're just like, what? No, it can't be that hard.
Yeah,
and I get it. Like we don't use light bulbs anymore per se, right? Everything's stock forever and saves energy. But at the same time, if you ask me how to change a light bulb,
yes,
I wasn't taught in school. You just Google it, fucking look at it. It turns. You can tell it turns.
Yeah, that was so funny when you talked about how many millennials does it take to change a light bulb? That was good work, man.
One parent said he would do an escape room. He just put all the shit as a kid in the room and said he'd never get out.
Right, yeah. Right. It's like, the code for the door is in the VCR tape. So good luck.
Good luck with that.
How many Gen Z does it take to change a light bulb? One to call a boomer up, and then when that guy gets nervous and hangs up, a second one to call the boomer back and apologize.
One to check on TikTok and see if someone made a video about it already, and another to make a comment video back and say they were triggered by it. Yeah,
and it's like, the only way you can do this, you must do dial up. It'll never get done.
Let me ask you, by the way, what is the deal with TikTok? Where just the other day, if you go to TikTok, sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the U.S. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now. This is obviously from TikTok. We are fortunate enough that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned. As I understood it 4 years ago, it was his idea to ban TikTok. Anyway, a day goes by, not even a day. Welcome back, says TikTok. Thanks for your patience and support. As a result of President Trump's efforts, TikTok is back in the U.S. You can continue to create, share, and discover all the things you love on TikTok. What is this? What's happening?
This is some bullshit because the first one that went out didn't have Trump. Like the very first one was just the standard. Hey, this is the day we're going down. They actually went and revised it and added the Trump shit in there.
Okay.
Like that's literally what you're reading is a second message, but most people didn't see the first one. So I personally think Trump and whoever owned TikTok got together, had a conversation. We're gonna make you look good. Plus, the thing is, this is something that they didn't have to do because Biden was like, I'm gonna let y'all have it. So
so full story, Trump says he's gonna stop TikTok like 4 years ago.
Yes, he did.
And he was like the leader of that. Like he was and to the point where I thought there was another one of these Trump dumbass things that he says that doesn't really matter until every fucking politician on both sides of the aisle was like, yes, we actually do need to ban it. It is a security threat and it is different than the other apps that take your data and shit. Like this Chinese shit is different. And I'm like, I don't understand how it's different, but I do understand that if AOC and Mitch McConnell agree on some shit, then I think that's probably right. Donald Trump then meets with the CEO of TikTok, who ends up donating a lot of money to his campaign. And literally like the day after that meeting was like, actually, I don't think I'm going to ban TikTok. Okay. That's why he's running. Meanwhile, he'd already started this shit. Everyone already agreed in Congress. They literally passed a law. We're banning this shit. If you have to sell it to an American or you cannot have this app in America. It is banned in other countries, India being one. Like it's like, so we will not be alone in this. And the countries that haven't banned it are looking at banning it. Like the UK is looking at banning it as well. Okay. No, it goes to the Supreme Court because it's challenged by TikTok. They're like, this is against freedom of speech or whatever. The fucking corrupt ass Supreme Court that always just does what Trump wants is like, actually not this time. Trump, we don't care that you did a 180. it needs to be banned and it needs to go into effect. And the Biden administration, of course, is leaving when this ruling came down like Friday or something. Biden's like, shit, school's out for summer, bitch.
Right.
Y'all wanted this shit.
Right. I ain't never coming back.
So they asked him about it. And he said, it's up to the next administration. Like,
which is a fact.
I can't enforce the ban. I'm leaving. So they got to do it. Good luck with the shit y'all chose, America.
And he goes, and whatever you guys decide on, codify it. That's a new word I learned, he says.
Right. And technically, this is what people talk about when they talk about codification. The House, the Senate, everyone agreed on it. It's written in the law. The Supreme Court upholds the law. And Trump is like, disagree. I don't think I'm going to fucking enforce it. So Biden is like, I got other shit to worry about. Let me pardon all my family members because these motherfuckers finna come into power. Right. And he's like, I'm out. Trump is like, I'm not gonna enforce the ban, but also there's a thing the Supreme Court said where you can extend it by 90 days. So it's not actually saving the app, even if Trump says, I'm going to extend this ban taking effect for 90 days. That 90 days, supposedly, they need to be trying to line up a sale to an American. So if they're not actively trying to sell this thing, I think at least a 50% stake to an American company, person, entity, then in 90 days, they still end up having to ban the shit.
Right.
And so so they did not need to take it down. They were not forced to act in this way.
No.
The government didn't do it. They pulled a stunt and said, guys, no TikTok. Oh man, only Donald Trump can save us, guys. My best friend, buddy, the guy whose inauguration I'll be sitting in the front row of, only he can save it, guys. Oh no, I know you all hate him, but and so you look around at the TikTokers making farewell messages, putting videos on other platforms, are fucking crying, going to histrionics. People are fucking posting shit about how like the Democrats handed Trump a victory. With this, which is always interesting because it's like, how did they hand him a victory? He won everything. He got the House, the Senate.
He won.
What does this mean?
Do you think TikTok's playing a game too by saying, like they must know this 90-day, whatever the fuck?
Yeah.
Do you think they're like, and Trump will save it? You'll see, everybody, so that Trump doesn't look stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And the thing is, Keith, me and Roger kind of talked about this. TikTok still has the upper hand because it does not behoove TikTok to sell it to an American person. The person on TikTok can still turn around and say, I don't want to sell it, and still yank that out.
I think what is interesting is check out, there's a podcast called On the Media. I want to say their last episode was about the TikTok ban. If you guys want to know more in depth from experts, I suggest you listen to them more than me. But what was so interesting, I didn't know this much shit about TikTok, but TikTok is basically an app to sell you shit, and not in the, we have ads like Instagram, but like literally, like if Keith has a TikTok and he's an influencer, he has a lot of people, they'll be like, we're sending you this item. You basically make a commercial for this item. Within the app of TikTok, you can buy the item, right?
Yes.
So that's what it's used for in China. That's its main function. It's like if Amazon was really more like influencers and videos and testimonials. You just happen to be in the Amazon app. Americans treat it like actual social media.
Okay.
Which TikTok doesn't give a fuck about.
No.
Which is why it seems more dangerous, because TikTok's like, whatever, keep you scrolling till you buy some shit. Who gives a fuck? I don't care if
it's all convenient because you
don't care if you're getting radicalized for Palestine. I don't care if you're getting radicalized for January 6th.
No one gives a fuck. You lose.
Buy some shit and and just stay here forever and just keep scrolling, right?
Yeah, they have whole TikToks about TikTok made me buy it.
Right. So that's one of the reasons people think it's more dangerous, because their algorithm isn't like the American ones, which have a different type of greed, where like every third fucking thing on your Instagram is like
a commercial.
Hey, go to this thing and buy this thing. Hey, here's a person you don't follow. And most of us end up like, that's how you end up being off of Instagram. You're like, oh, that's what Keith's up to. Who the fuck is this? What? T-shirts? All right, fuck it. I gotta stop doing this. I gotta go do something else. TikTok will never do that. They just keep you scrolling forever. So they do the like only Trump can save us thing. They wait 14 hours when everyone's at fever pitch. The Democrats, Trump, and then they turned it back on. And Trump didn't do anything. He's not even in power yet. He could not enforce a single thing.
Right.
And yet he got all the credit. And there are some dumbasses, just like when he wrote his name on those checks, that I'm sure will be like, Donald Trump, man, he saved TikTok. Thank God. As an influencer, this is how I made my money. And I appreciate Donald Trump coming.
And I'm sure that's what he was thinking about. Like,
right.
How would that make sense? Yeah.
None.
And then speaking of selling shit, what do you know about his Bitcoin, which is literally called Trump?
Right.
I understand that right away it goes up, right away it crashes, goes down to crashes at least 40% right away. At that point, Melania has a Bitcoin come out called Melania.
Yep. Yeah,
it's all a grift, Keith, because when they get in the office, they can't take that money with them. So it's all like we gonna do it and then we gonna dump it, make our money, and we don't care about the people theirs.
It's called pump and dump. And like a month ago, everyone was mad at that Haktua lady for doing it.
Yes.
Yeah. But now the president's doing it and his wife is doing it. And unlike the Haktua lady, who everyone's mad because she just like fucking cashed out and dipped on everybody.
Right.
Legally, he has precedent that he should cash out and dip on everybody. So it makes no fucking sense to make the coin go up that he owns so much of, because he literally can't take the money with him in the office. So he has plausible deniability to be like, oh, I guess I have $20 billion for me. I guess I had to cash. I'm sorry, everybody. I had to go be president. Thank you for the money. The coin's worthless now. Fuck y'all.
Do you think Elon Musk, like these guys, they have to be selling out, right?
Yeah.
Again, even though we saw Elon Musk do the Nazi salute.
Yeah.
But you know, it's got to be like, oh my God, you're saying shit about rockets, like you understand a fucking thing. Like I've heard that podcast they did with Trump and Elon, and Elon like holds back all the dumb shit that Trump's saying about space and science and whatever the fuck. Does Elon Musk go, you know what? I wish you would have called me first. Doge is kind of our thing.
Yeah, right.
Not Trump and Melania. Like, if we want to make money, Doge is kind of already our thing.
Right.
Because Trump don't care.
Trump don't care.
And that's the thing.
I think that's the other thing about that podcast. They both don't respect each other.
No, they do not.
Like, even if we think Trump is dumber than Elon Musk, both of them think the other one is dumber than them.
Right.
They do.
God, fucking idiots, man.
What's word on the street that Donald Trump had his inauguration inside, saying it's too cold? And it was like, there's 20-some degrees. It's fucking winter. It's always this cold. They say last person who did it was Ronald Reagan. It's like, yeah, that was 7 degrees. Never mind the feels like being so much lower. Is that about numbers and people who actually show up, or we'll just never know because he's such full of shit?
I'll never know.
Yeah,
because the thing I keep reminding people that think it's about they're going to take pictures and the numbers won't be there.
Right.
We did that already, guys. 2016, he didn't have the same numbers.
And he lied.
And he just lied and said he had the most people of all time. The Kamala Harris rallies, we have video of people leaving his rallies early, them being half full. Right. And he just lies and says they're full anyway. So it's not like he's the guy where we go, he didn't want to be embarrassed. He's going to lie to you. So I don't think that's it. I've heard people say security. I just honestly think he don't give a fuck this time.
He was like, I'm not freezing. Bring it inside.
Yeah, I'm not talking about it being cold. I mean, I honestly think he doesn't give a fuck to put on the charade of giving a fuck. Like, yes. I don't care about the people who voted for me. I won. I don't like, I'm going to go do all the shit I said I was going to do.
Right. Did you put me in office for?
No, for me, not for you. I'm going to go do the shit I said I was going to do for me. Like he doesn't, I don't think he has people around him who will make sure that stuff happens. But I don't think he cares. Like, I don't think he cares about immigration. I think he's like, who gives a fuck? I'm here for the $20 billion and get Bitcoin. I'm here to sell Trump Bibles. I'm here to not go to prison.
Right.
Like, he don't give a fuck about America or the Americans in it.
No, he does not.
That's my guess anyway.
Well, you know what? Getting back to the show, I mentioned the movie The Apprentice with the Winter Soldier. And by the way, what a great point I had, right? Why doesn't he chop off his other arm, go to Wakanda, and become the greatest hero of all time? Somehow with one metal arm, he can compete with Thor and Superman.
That is a great point. But then what's he gonna jack off with? So I kind of get his point. Just like he still want real Phil.
Yeah, he not trying to be like you with the shoulder, Keith. One arm got to be in good condition.
That's true. That's a very good point.
Unless he gets like a adamantium dick, I feel like he got to keep right. You got to keep one arm.
I might have saw that problem.
He goes back to Wakanda with the flesh dick and his metal hand. He's like, I was doing The Stranger, and he's like, did you read the fucking paperwork we gave you? Now you can't leave here without somebody with you. Now that's not
right. If you have to cancel the appointment,
right? But you know, you're not going to necessarily learn anything, no matter what side you're on. But with that said, the movie The Apprentice is so fucking well done. I don't know if you can stomach it, but it moves fast and it's very good.
I want to watch it. It's been recommended to me. It just wasn't in theaters here. For some fucking reason.
It's more artsy, I guess, but it's not
okay.
It's not tricky, you know what I mean?
But now it's on streaming, so I can watch it. So I will watch it. Brad Pitt catfishing.
Yes.
Here's the only question I have.
Yeah.
The only real question. Why do we know?
A great question. Right. Why do we know?
I didn't read this bitch's diary. Because
she had to tell us.
I think what happens to these people is they're so embarrassed. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, and I'm making it up literally right now. Yeah. She's so embarrassed that she has to say to us, hey, it could happen to you, and I'm actually warning you, and therefore, now right back, I'm so sorry that happened to me, and I'll be like, no problem. We all got something out of it. I lost $1 million and a husband, but we can all be scammed, right? It's an epidemic. Google it. And I'm not an idiot after all. Some people are just rude.
They just keep, no matter what you say to them, they just keep making sure to reemphasize that it could happen to anybody.
Right. It can happen to anybody. Google if it could happen to anybody. You'll see. The answer is yes, it could.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's why. Because I would go to my grave.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all would just be walking around like, why is Rod homeless? I saw him on the street.
Why did he lose everything?
He was on the street. He was begging for money the other day, and he looked very disheveled. What do you think happened? Well, maybe he had a mental health episode. I don't know. Yeah, because I'm dying letting you guys think that before I go.
Yes.
I thought Issa Rae was going to fuck me, and I left Karen and gave her all our life savings. And
because
listen,
she was sick.
Happen to anyone.
She was sick. Here's a picture, actually, to prove it.
Right.
And the picture only makes you look worse.
Right.
It's Issa Rae looking hot as hell on the red carpet, but AI bandages around her face.
Right. On my homelessness sign, it just says it could happen to any of us. And everybody's like, what? Oh, you mean being homeless? You're right. We're all one check away. No, I mean Issa Rae wanting to fuck you and then you throw your whole life away. Because you need to see if them Issa Rae titties. You couldn't help yourself.
You could still get this woman again acting like you're Brad Pitt. I guarantee you.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. And I know when him was on the show, she used to always push back on the picking on these people. But nah, because it's like, I watched the documentary. I read the story. It's always a hot person.
It's always hot, and it's always about, and it's always somebody who's rich.
Yes.
And even when it's not a celebrity, it's the women going like, and I knew he was the one for me. And it's like, all you said about him was his jets and his private islands. You knew nothing about him.
Right. And they're never just some schlubby loser guy. Right. It's always a guy who's like a fucking model. Like, no, you can't. Women can be pieces of shit too. And we definitely would not extend this sympathy if it was some fucking dude getting scammed by one of these fake AI Instagram models that, hey, I'm in your town. We would not be like, guys, okay, it can happen to any of us. Maybe he thought it was real love. Why are we being like this? Why does it have to be that she had Instagram titties? Why are we looking at that? Right. No, women want to fuck too. They want to fuck Brad Pitt. Anyway, good luck to her.
Good luck to her. She's like, I brought this up. Like, she's like, I'm broke and I only have a couple boxes in my house or whatever. I'm like, I say somebody's scammer again and go, hey, what's in those boxes? Yeah,
you can get 2 boxes of shit.
It's me, Johnny Depp.
Yeah. Why don't you just put them on the curve? Because you're not going to be able to hold on to whatever's in your house. You know it. Speaking of embarrassing people embarrassing themselves, I watched the Springer documentary.
Okay.
I felt like they were still lying to me, and I don't like that.
Right.
It's supposed to be a tell-all, and you're still full of shit. Well, Jerry never knew anything. We didn't tell him. Yeah. Get the fuck. So was he stupid? Because I didn't work there. I was at home and I was like, there's no way Jerry can't know some of this shit is fake. There's no way.
There's no way.
There's no way he doesn't know when it is real, that it would be horrible to put on TV because this is horrible for humanity.
You see where he comes from the back, by the producers behind a podium. You see these shows and you see him do that and go back there. There was a horse in the back.
Right.
Where do you think they're bringing out the horse, Jerry, and why?
Right.
Hey, don't tell me about the horse yet. I'm very excited. I want to know at the time.
Right, guys, we got to keep it real. I need to be in the moment. I didn't even see the horse.
I want to be surprised.
They were like how they do how they've said the staff used to do Ellen. It's like when Jerry's walking through the hallway, no horse is looking him in the eyes.
Right. Right. You act like you rode the horse to work. Okay. I want when Jerry walks by, you go, and just brought this horse to work, tying it up now, and then I'll pick it up after work. And then during the show, we're going to surprise. I don't know why Jerry likes that we do this, but we're going to surprise him and be like, actually, there's a guy that fucks the horse.
Yes.
And Jerry's like, oh, I do like living in the moment. Like I'm Larry King that didn't look up a guest information.
Not to mention two things. I worked on a TV show, so now I know it's bullshit because there's no way you get all that shit coordinated and the host doesn't know because the biggest thing for the host is they don't ever want to look fucking stupid.
Right.
So and Jerry never looks stupid. And so then the second thing I have to point out, Jerry always used to have a good quip and a good one-liner that wasn't because he was the sharpest fucking stand-up comedian in the world. They fucking prepared it on those little fucking sheets.
Yes, at the end of the show.
So I guarantee you, whenever the fucking bestiality horse guy's there and he's like, well, I say you get out of here and the horse that brung you. Like,
somebody wrote that.
So they just wrote that, Jerry, and you didn't know what it meant until you got on the stage. No, you fucking knew these fucking horses. Get out of here.
Y'all had a meeting about this.
He's like, now I get why I'm staring at this card and it would fit right here.
Right? Yeah. I guess it isn't that's the other thing. He never read it like he didn't understand. Like, it's a one horse town. I don't know. I'll give me another one, guys.
He got it. He always got it.
So much for horse play.
And then there's
this one gallop away. What are we doing here, guys? What are we doing here?
And then there's a three-way where the one guy, two chicks, and the guy kills one of the chicks, one of the women. And they ask Jerry, like, some other news organization that doesn't have ties to the show, is like, so what is that related to the show? Maybe a little bit, right? He's like, no, because they happen to be on my show. Does they happen to, like, okay, you dumb motherfucker. Then they go, do you remember these people? And he's like, honestly, no. It's like,
right.
Why didn't you look it up by now?
Right. Also,
it's interesting.
Isn't that the moment to tell us it's all real?
Right. Right.
Why do you wait till this horse fucking gotta be when we were like, there's no fucking way you didn't know. That's not real. Why are you people literally killed each other? That's the day you look in the camera and go, I told you motherfuckers, it's all real. So that's what happens when they go home. I didn't want it to happen, but this is a real show, and that'll convince you to watch the horse fucking episode.
By the way, this documentary, Fights Camera Action. Oh, so fucking clever. It's on Netflix. It's goddamn ridiculous. And if you're trying to tell us that things are, you're lying to us, but you're trying to say, hey, I'm here doing a tell-all, everything's real. Don't add little things like in the present day, you're taking a phone call talking to the horse fucker. Well, this isn't happening because you just told us you got fired.
Yes.
And it would make no sense now because the show's over and Jerry's dead.
Yes.
So why are you pretending you're on a call being like, a horse? But that's bestiality. Motherfucker, this isn't happening, A. Right. And B, when it did happen, you went, yeah, I don't see a problem with that. Come in on Tuesday.
Right, exactly. And that's the other thing. I would rather watch an unauthorized, right,
because then you probably get to,
because I think the Jerry Springer show stuff is good, and I think actual like deep dive would be fun, but it needs to be not sympathetic to the people that used to work there or whatever.
Right.
And this one had too many of them. And this is such a small petty thing, but I didn't like they were all wearing the same color yellow. That felt coordinated, like a wardrobe person did it. But then the other part is I didn't like them pretending to be regretful. You don't really regret this shit.
Oh no, y'all made.
They just knew in order to sell us the documentary and not look like bad people, they needed to sound like listen, we did some things. I was going through alcoholism. I was working 17 hours a day. Nah, you also showed a clip where you were like, Oprah said what we were doing was bad for TV. And we said, fuck that bitch. Fuck Oprah. We're so proud we beat her in the ratings with her bullshit. She was being wholesome and we was out here putting horse fuckers on. And we said, fuck that bitch. We cut into a cake with Jerry's face and said, fuck her. Okay, well, you can't have both of those emotions, guys.
Right. It was getting too stressful whenever we had horse fucking and murder. So then the next thing you know, I go to this woman's room. Guess who answers the door? Her dad, who should be in a different hotel room. Obviously, they found each other and they're fucking again. And that's when I knew.
And I quit. For 10 minutes.
And then he returns back for 2 more years.
Came right back.
Yeah. Oh, just pieces of shit. I would rather someone else say, do the documentary and call them pieces of shit. And now you got a documentary, but you guys shouldn't be part of it. Every time you have one of these documentaries where the people that are pieces of shit are talking to the camera, it's only either a bad documentary or a stupid motherfucker. I prefer the second one where I'm like, do you even know you worked for the radiation company and you thought you could fix this with a conversation? I prefer that. This one wasn't that. So I actually did not like the documentary because of that. That was bullshit.
Do you think they did a trick by making it 2 episodes so they can win different awards? Because it's not good enough for a movie, and it's not good enough for a series.
Yeah, I agree. Because why was it 2?
Oh, like a limited?
And nothing's 2.
It'll be a limited series, and there's not many things like that. Yeah.
And nothing's 2.
Right.
I watch documentaries all the time. It's either 1 or it's 3. Nothing's fucking 2. No, who tells a story in 2 parts?
Just the the beginning, middle, end.
And both parts were like less than an hour.
Oh, but then no.
Then just make 1 hour and a half thing. What the fuck?
Right. Just throw the extra 30 minutes on the first.
That thing made me so fucking mad, man. And I loved that show.
Me too.
But I loved that it was trash. It was it was smoking cigarettes of TV. Just do like no one watched it and thought they were innocent. Like that was another thing they did. Oh, I'm sorry, Randall. There's another thing they did. They do the fucking thing. It was the audience that wanted this stuff. So
they blamed me. Yeah.
Fuck you. I didn't know this was on.
Yeah.
I wasn't like scrolling past and was like, they could just get some horse fucking on. I'd watch that.
No,
and by the way, when it was canceled, because they stopped making it so salacious and me and Adam Brown stopped watching, we weren't jonesing for more. Like, when are they going to bring this back? Okay, it's over. Okay, bye.
Honestly, when it stopped being violent, I went, that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, and that's when the ratings tanked. At the height of Jerry Springer, I was in college. So what we used to do was go to our classes, take a nap, and everybody in our suite would wake up and like turn all the TVs on to Jerry. And so you would literally hear the whole suite going, Jerry, hoo, 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 all high-fiving each other. So when I tell you it was like all across the campus, it was like a event. And then we would talk about it the next day. Something was wrong with you if you missed what happened on Jerry.
Right.
But it's our fault. It's our fault, guys. They wouldn't have done it if not for us.
Right. They could tell the energy was out there. They had a woman on, is really only one that they focused on to me, and she seemed like put together. She could explain herself, which it's kind of interesting. You would think somebody would be too backwoods, but at the same time, it makes me this woman who says like she was tricked and they made me get riled up and yell at my boyfriend or some shit like that. It makes me think about the fake Brad Pitt woman. Like, how do we know this? How aren't you embarrassed?
Right.
And I know I said this, but if I wasn't already in love with Liz and I found out she was on one of these shows and got tricked and riled up, it's over. Our relationship is over.
Even worse, he brings you on one of the shows.
Oh no.
Is it? I don't think it is possible for a person to put me in a little room and say, we're going to bring you out to talk to Karen. I'm going to need you to curse her the fuck out. Do you love her or do you not love her? Don't let that bitch just tell. Like, I'll be like, no, I'm not doing that. Yeah.
All you showed me was a hotel room in New York, by the way.
Yeah.
That's it. A hotel room. Was enough?
Yeah, that one couple, they're like, yeah, they gave us beers and they didn't even really let us sleep. I'm like, that's not a fucking excuse.
Right.
You're these people or you're not these people.
Right.
Like they were doing Abu Dhabi shit or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Right. Abu Ghraib.
They took us to a bar and after that I said, I gotta go tell these people I'm fucking my daughter. I'm like, no, that's not how that works. I don't fuck my daughter, but I'm 100% sure that's not. You're not 6 drinks from telling people you're fucking your daughter. Fucking idiots. Anyway, I hate that documentary. It's not good. When you do movie 1-star review ratings and you go reviews, they're always great. But I had a thought.
Yeah.
Next time, if you have them back on,
okay.
If you could get JL Covan to read the 1-star reviews in the Trump voice.
Oh, okay.
They're like, I don't know if you have one of these 1-star reviews on hand right now, but these dumb motherfuckers write in the Trump cadence. I've noticed it.
Right.
Okay.
I don't think they're trying to, obviously, but like the incomplete sentences, the not thoughts, the like grandiose statements, like worst movie ever, or I listen and I like so and so, but not this. And I'm like, that's how he talks.
Ms. Adams should must have been deranged, as was the writer and director.
Right. I'm a single mom. I don't know any single moms that don't. And I'm like, I could hear it in his fucking voice, and now I can't unhear it. If you get JL back at some point, I'd love just to hear him give it a shot.
I'm sorry, being a single mom is the greatest thing ever. Everybody's saying.
Right.
But this
right, exactly.
Made it disgusting.
Excuse me.
Right.
It's like, yeah, fuck out of here.
Right.
What did you think about the Mike Tomlin trade rumor that was rejected by the Steelers? I don't know if you heard. Have you heard about this?
I don't know this. No.
So the Chicago Bears is one of the teams, I believe, that wanted to trade to get Mike Tomlin as their coach, which I think in the NFL you can trade like a draft pick or some shit, and take someone's coach. And the Steelers said no. Like, he's coming back. We're not trading him. We're not firing him. He's the coach. Like, if you hadn't heard of it, I guess you can't really say.
No, I still can. I absolutely can. I've been watching these games. I absolutely have a thought.
Yeah.
This is why he takes everybody like, come to my house for Thanksgiving. Can I give you a ride to the airport? I hear you have a colonoscopy. I'll pick you up. I'll wait in the parking lot the whole time.
Yeah, you had your coach waiting on you.
Yeah. That's why how about you let us win a fucking game? How about that?
Yeah, that's what. How about you let us everybody's test?
Right. How about you let us go 2 inches? How about you don't make us punt it when it means we lose? Yeah, I know. Do you want? I got some apple pie. Like, motherfucker, just have some balls.
I brought some broth and some apple juice to mix in with your liquids.
Honestly, if he's on some Ted Lasso shit, I mean, it ain't my team, so that makes it even funnier to me.
That's hilarious.
If we find out, like, guys, it was never the coaching. He's just a really good guy, and we just can't fire Mike Tomlin. Every time we go to the office to fire him, he just fucking offers us some scones. We're like, fuck it.
They'll be losing. Go into halftime. I'm like, they come back. I'm like, did you give a speech or anything? I look it up. No, he just handed out orange wedges.
Yeah, it's amazing. Now I will say, obviously, because he's one of the few black coaches or whatever, I support him. And it's not my franchise, so your mediocrity will never affect me.
Right.
But and I do love that stat of him never having a losing season, but also like having won a playoff game in 10 years.
Right.
But the thing that I think is funny is, and I don't know why they done this, but why haven't they drafted a fucking quarterback yet?
Right.
It's been so long since Ben Roethlisberger was there.
Yeah.
None of their, like, Mike Tomlin, I think, continues to have a job because no one's ever looked at that roster and went Super Bowl. Like, expectations are what get coaches fired, right? When you look at it, you're like, you guys had Aaron Rodgers and you went Super Bowl, you fucking fired, you fucking idiot. Every year he has a built-in excuse of like, the fuck was I gonna do? No one wanted Russell Wilson last year. No one wanted Justin Fields before that. Who the fuck is Mason Rudolph? Is he drafting these guys? Like, who's making the decision that these are his quarterbacks? Yeah. Because I think that's why he's not getting fired.
Well, he couldn't get to it. He was busy detailing the owner's car. He's just a good guy. What
He's
can
in
I
a
tell you?
coach's meeting with a tray of cookies he makes himself in an apron
from scratch.
It's like when he's doing plays, he's diagramming it with cookies. All right, so this gingerbread
sweet.
man is you because you're a sweetie.
Eat it, you'll like it, right?
Let me look, TJ Watt. I'm gonna make you this donut because you are too precious. All right, so you're gonna sack the quarterback. Yeah, it is crazy. I don't know it. You have a very specific type of frustration that I don't think maybe the Cowboys fans could understand, but I don't think the vast majority of NFL fans can understand because either their team fucking sucks,
right,
and they're just like mad, like the Panthers. We just fucking suck. So like to us, we're like this fucking 1%er ass complaint. Oh, we ain't win Super Bowl, just 10 games again. So it comes off like it's not as frustrating, but I can imagine in your shoes, it's like, who the fuck wants to keep winning 10 games? I'd rather win one game 1 year so we can win a Super Bowl 2 years from now.
Right.
Well, Liz will say that, like, at least your team, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, but my team has the potential. And he keeps fucking us.
Right.
Yeah.
Your team, you're never surprised.
No.
My team, I'm putting $100 on them every fucking year.
Yeah, we're never surprised. And Keith, I know I have to be frustrated because y'all always fall in the middle. So you're not bad enough where you get a good pick, but you're good enough where everybody good is gone by the time y'all start selecting.
And I feel like every single year they go on a run. Like, so it's not like it's never just a linear, like win a game, lose a game, win a game, lose a game. Oh, we're 8-8. It's always like, yo, they gonna fire Mike Tomlin, dude. They 2-7,
and then y'all going like a 6-game run.
It be like they didn't lose again from November to December. It's like maybe they gonna win the Super Bowl. I don't know.
Damn, 8 games straight. What happened?
Yeah, you know what? The when another team like goes like, well, at least blah blah blah. It makes me think of Ray DeVito, who when we would hang out when he drinks, and he always repeated his stories. Yeah, and this was one of them. But like I'd say something about my dad, right? KeithAndTheGirl.com/dad.
Yes.
If you don't know the saga, take a look. The book, KeithAndTheGirl.com/dad book. And I'd say something. He's like, oh, but you can make peace with them. And I'm like,
right.
Why don't think you're fucking listening? I can't make peace with them. He goes, well, you should. I'm like, Ray, if you tell me, I don't want to hear it. The story again. You're about to say, he's like, you don't know what I'm going to say. I know what you're going to say. And you're going to say, your parents are dead. And I need, at least I don't have that. And blah, blah. He's like, no, I'm not going to say that. I'm like, okay, go ahead. And he goes, but at least your parents are alive and you should respect them. I'm like, you motherfucker.
Right.
Well, there's a big difference.
Yes. Not like I said, I feel for your frustration because it's got to be a lonely frustration. There's not, I think maybe the Cowboys, but I don't think there's any other team like this where you're like constantly successful,
right?
But constantly, no one thinks you're gonna win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
right.
every other team is, every other team is either like excellent or sucks at some point. Right. Maybe Baltimore right now, but that hasn't been nearly as long as Pittsburgh, where they're good, but then they just can't get over the hump. And even Baltimore wins playoff games.
Yes, they have.
So no, not even Baltimore. Damn, it's just y'all. Yep. What was the poll? Oh wait, we did the poll, right?
The poll was where you watched the 2025 inauguration of Donald Trump live. I'm the only one who said yes, and I didn't make it. I was busy buying juices.
Any extra stuff, Karen?
I did see, by the way. So I saw some stuff about the speech.
Yes.
National unity is now returning to America, says Trump, and confidence and pride is soaring like never before. Already?
Mm-hmm.
You just said yes, I'm your president, and already we're soaring like never before. Everybody's
didn't even need to take a poll.
Yeah. The president kicked off his speech with the declaration that the golden age of America begins right now. Mm-hmm. Under his watch, the nation will, quote, flourish and be respected again around the world. During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first. Mm-hmm. Wait until he realizes it really matters.
Remember when he said the country was a piece of total shit until the second he didn't swear on the Bible? then he was like, oh wait, I'm in charge. Greatest country of all time. Actually, no problems.
The president also repeated his claims that the Justice Department was weaponized against him. Mm-hmm. My recent election is a mandate to completely and totally reverse a horrible betrayal and all these many betrayals that have taken place. And if you think I'm leaving stuff out, I'm not. The many betrayals that have taken place, and give the American people back their faith, their wealth, their democracy, and indeed their freedom.
And that's why he's giving Night Bitch 1 star.
Mr. Trump claimed that the government cannot provide basic services, as demonstrated by the devastation in western North Carolina as a result of Hurricane Helene in late September. The president also turned to a familiar topic, the southern border. From this moment on, America's decline is over. He's going to start war with the southern border. Mr. Trump spoke briefly about the attempted assassination back in July 13th in Butler, Pennsylvania. Quote, I was saved by God to make America great again.
All right.
God knew about the gun ahead of time, but...
Right. Okay. God said, fuck them other people that got shot in the crowd, but right. but not Trump.
Well, they didn't have it. The people in the crowd weren't going to make things
They
better.
weren't going to make America great again. Yeah.
He said he would declare a national emergency at the southern border. That earned him a standing ovation. Another standing ovation was, quote, we will drill, baby, drill. Mm-hmm. Mr. Trump said that under his administration, the position of the federal government would be that there are 2 genders, male and female.
Yeah, very important.
Mr. Trump confirmed that he would change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not joking. None of these are jokes.
Nope.
He also said that Denali, the highest mountain peak in North America, would be renamed to Mount McKinley. Quick history lesson. The U.S. recognized the mountain as Mount McKinley, named for President William McKinley in 1917. But in 2015, under Obama, it was restored to Denali, the traditional native Alaskan name, showing a little respect. He goes, nope, we're taking it back, says Trump.
Yeah.
Alaska's 2 Republican senators also support keeping the name Denali. Trump doesn't care. Mr. Trump also reiterated that his administration will seek to reassert control over the Panama Canal. We're taking it back, he says. The U.S. relinquished control of the canal in 1999. It's now run by the Panama Canal Authority. Mr. Trump said his administration would work to put U.S. astronauts on Mars. We will pursue our manifest destiny into the stars, launching American astronauts to plant the stars and stripes on the planet Mars. Don't we know these are bad words? Manifest destiny is a bad word.
Which is why he uses it.
Yeah.
Well, who are we going to use? The Starship Trooper?
That's the thing I noticed. Like, people keep sharing stuff from it to be shocking, to be like, guys, can you believe it? And I'm like, guys, it's too late.
Too late.
Right.
Everyone, you can't shock people because they do believe it, because most of this shit is stuff he said already. Mm-hmm. And so him saying it today doesn't change it for a lot of people. If you're waiting for like America to wake up, like Ezra Klein posted something like, you know, Trump having these billionaires in his inauguration is really a gift to the Democrats in the long run, because people are going to see how dirty this is. And I'm like, no, they're not.
No. No, they're not. You have Elon Musk doing a full fucking Nazi salute twice. Right. And the guys use the Trumps use the words like manifest destiny. That means that's what we did in America when we wanted to take over land in America and land elsewhere. We go, this is our God-given right. It's meant for us. How do you know that? Huh? And then we take it. These aren't good words. You learn that in school.
You know what those people are doing? Those people are going to email Keith Malley and say, why are you so mean to Trump people? And why can't you see that we're right? And you need to get more facts. Like, that's what's going to happen. No one's going to be walking around shocked and turning about face to be like, actually, I don't support him.
And if they can't stop the California fires immediately, guess what? Jewish space lasers. Just say whatever the fuck you want.
Put her in charge of something.
Yeah. Did you see the Chappelle do a stand-up on SNL?
I did.
Or sit down, rather?
Yeah, I saw him do his thing. It's a 17-minute monologue thing up front.
World record.
We watched it, right? Yeah, it was long, right? We watched it before we came on the air with you.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was funny. But I think he's normally funny when he's not trying to do the fucking like the trans kids is making me be a bad person. Like,
he's hilarious.
Whenever he's not doing the I'm a victim shit, because I do give him the license of comedy. I don't treat everything he says as gospel.
Right.
And so I like his pivots. Like, I like when he like one of the funniest jokes was like when he's like talking about people laughing at the rich people's houses burned down. He's like, and that's why I fucking hate poor people. And I was like, that's a good, you got me. You got me. That was good. I didn't know you're going. So yeah, I did enjoy it.
He really treats it like it's all deep though. Do you notice that? And like if the audience doesn't laugh, he goes, Luigi, the guy that killed the person, remember?
Yeah.
Hello? It's like, no, we got it.
I miss the Dave Chappelle that wasn't this deep. I do miss that guy.
Right.
That was that. Like, he still thinks he's like that, but I don't think he's like that anymore. Like, he thinks he's like, nah, guys, I'm wacky, I'm Bugs Bunny, and I'm just making jokes.
Nah.
Why aren't you guys listening? It's like, cause like half the time you think you're making a fucking deep point that's not that deep.
Right.
So yeah, I feel you on that.
And you do think you're deep, and then afterwards he loves to say how it's just jokes. But obviously that's not true, obviously.
Right, exactly.
And man, he pre-came when he said, from Palisades to Palestine, we have to start respecting the franchise. I'm like, oh, you're real proud of that one. That you had locked and loaded 17 minutes earlier. and this, first of all, was I the one staring at his fucking lump of dick and balls?
I didn't. Okay, I thought I was going crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was when I was talking to Karen Hunter on her radio show about, and she was like, you know, I was just looking at his dick and then this, and he said this, and I was looking at his dick. I was like,
could just see the imprint.
I was like, could his dick have been this prominent? But yeah, I saw the thing, and I was like,
that's why he wanted the spotlight. He's like, close the backlights, give me the spotlight, lower the camera.
I'm a dickmatize y'all.
And you know what, Keith? I'm glad you brought that up because I thought I was crazy. I kept saying, is that his dick? I was like, that can't be. Man, my mom was like, maybe I'm losing
the balls.
This man's dick.
The balls on this guy.
If he took his microphone and you know how he likes to slap his leg, he would have fucking doubled over in pain.
Yes, he would have.
Interesting, he didn't do it this time. Interesting. And the cigarette, though, is such a move. He's like Dice now.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And then you didn't see more of the show, I assume, right?
No, I heard some of the sketches are pretty good, but I didn't see them.
So they did this. It's the Marcelo, the Spanish guy on the show that's fairly new. He does the Dad Immigrant Show, and it's him and somebody else. It happens to be Chappelle this time, and talking about their kids being lazy pieces of shit, don't know how to dial a phone, probably this kind of thing. But they're both smoking cigarettes. I'm like, I think Chappelle made you smoke a cigarette. Then there was another sketch after that where somebody thought, or Chappelle has a family, and he thought like he was getting robbed, and so he has hidden money. He has a hidden gun. He ends up killing somebody. He has a family hidden in the walls. These two kids come out. They're smoking. I'm like, I think Chappelle's making y'all do this. That's what I think. That's really what I think.
That's hilarious. It would also be funny if, because all the time when he smokes, he don't care what the rule is in the state. Like, he makes a big deal out of it. You see them live. It's like, they say no smoking in here for y'all. And then he pulls out a cigarette and starts smoking. It would be funny if, like, cast members had wanted to smoke. And they're like, well, fuck it. He's smoking.
Right.
Like, how the fuck y'all gonna tell me no? If he's smoking, I'm fucking smoking. My character smokes now, guys.
I did enjoy the Weekend Update joke where it says they said like Zuckerberg flew down to meet Trump, and boy, are his knees tired.
That's good.
That's hilarious.
I heard it was a good episode.
I was pleased enough, but with Chappelle, I'm like, we get it. You're breaking records today, I suppose. Yeah. Talk a little faster, shit. Because then when Weekend Update came on, I'm like, already? But because a half hour was gone, and I don't think it was planned per se, because I noticed this when they don't have the timing down at the end of the show. They go to a commercial, then they come back, then they go to a commercial again, then sometimes they come back. They never do that deliberately to coming
they
back.
They gotta get the ads in.
And then they do more ads, and then all of a sudden it's the closing when they're all on stage. I'm like, you couldn't fit another skit there, but he fucked up the time, so you still had to do weird shit.
Yeah. And I feel like he does that every time he comes on.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Over.
Yeah, I feel like that he's a big swagger dicking them I'm Dave Chappelle. It's a big deal to have me. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do.
It's been pointed out that Bowen Yang has never been on a sketch with him, and people are assuming it's because of the transgender comments. I don't know.
I can
see that.
And if so, good for him. Good for.
I still remember they got mad at that one club, that comedy club that wouldn't host them. Like, it was a comedy club that was very pro LGBTQ. and like comedians got mad at the club. Like, how dare they? I was like, I'm pretty sure they've made their decision to say fuck him.
Right.
And you got comedians being upset is just not gonna move them off of their civil rights.
Right. Yep.
They're like, Legions of Skanks is mad. Well, shit, I guess let Dave in. Fuck it. Don't want no smoke. Like, I'm pretty sure they thought about it.
Right.
And don't care enough.
But the last thing is Q&A.
Yes.
I'm Not Supposed, episode 178. Newsy.
What is it? I'm not supposed to be here?
Yeah. I just had I'm not supposed.
Okay.
I'm not supposed to be here. Let's say that. Let me just double check to make sure I had it right, because fuck, I might have missed something. It was very good. Yeah, I'm not supposed to be here. Sorry.
Okay.
That's my typo. Newsy is in rehab. Is rehab free?
That's a good question. You have to pay that $20 copay?
Because you don't got a job, and then the job, like, you got to go to rehab, but then how am I going to get the rehab money?
Who paying for it? Who paying for the rehab?
Right. And never even mind the not paying for the rehab part. We brought this up. Yeah. Supposedly they're going to be able to give him work also, but they're not supposed to. So how the fuck can he not work for 4 months, period? Right. All because, to be clear, for those that don't know the story, he admitted that he smoked a lot of weed in his day. He got busted not passing a piss test once at his job. But he shouldn't have been so honest that he enjoys weed.
I will say that is a flaw of mine. I've made that mistake before.
Yeah.
Of being, fucking type A kid. I don't know why I did it, but I've been in situations where I found out later, like, no, everyone lies. And I'm like, what? You can just fucking.
Right.
Of course, you can just fucking lie. You don't have to be honest all the time. Why the fuck am I sharing? And especially when I feel like it's a connection, because I like real conversations. I would have fallen for that. I'll smoke weed like a couple times a week.
I know I love weed. You love weed, right?
Right. And especially if they're not like, if they're just like,
the shock.
Yeah,
they're laughing. Like, yeah, we all party, we smoke weed.
Crazy.
Hi, ring. It's the next day. Right. Yeah. So you said about how you smoke weed all the time. You did too. This wasn't about me.
Right.
And I, of course, lied. I did not.
Why are you writing so much in your notebook?
Right.
I'm just impressed by all the weed you smoke.
Right. Yeah. I did this in court one time for a speeding ticket. They told me you could get a prayer for judgment or some shit where you get the first ticket. It's your first ever ticket. They'll wipe it off.
Okay.
I didn't have a lawyer. I just went up there because people told me, oh, no, you just do this. Because, of course, and I was 17. So this is a good excuse. Sure. I was stupid, but it's because I was 17, everyone.
Right.
I just go up there and I'm like, yeah, prayer for judgment. And the judge is like, what? And I'm like, prayer for judgment? And he's like, sir, are you pleading guilty or not guilty? I was like, I plead prayerful judgment. He's like, are you responsible? And I go, I'm a responsible person. And he went, guilty. Court cost plus the ticket. And I had to pay that ticket, guys. And that's me being honest. I should have just got a lawyer and told them to lie for me and sat up there and said nothing. But this is what the fuck happens. So yeah, I feel for him.
When you go to this court, Rob, and you tell the truth like that, you are making a mockery of the system.
I am. You. No, I deserve the punishment that I got. I paid that money. With my student salary of nothing.
Right. We would refund.
But is everyone there for weed or are they there for different drugs?
They're there for different drugs. He was talking about DUIs. Yeah. He was talking about some serious shit, and he's there for weed that he's like, yeah, I promise I won't smoke at work. I tried to get away with it. But he's in a real rehab place. It's outpatient, but he's with real motherfuckers.
Okay. But they like, we got real problems.
Yeah. Okay. So how many of us have the same disease I had, where I immediately started doing the scene from Half Baked in my head? You in here for some marijuana?
Right.
Marijuana? I suck dick for coke. I seen it. I
love that goddamn movie.
That's all I hear in my head now. Every time he talks about rehab, I'm gonna hear that scene again with the late great Dave from Family, whatever that TV show was.
Yes.
Full House.
Mm-hmm.
And the other dude named Dave from fucking the real world that got kicked out for tickling Tammy. I'm gonna remember this scene for the rest of my life. And thank you, Newsy, for bringing it back to me through your life.
And Newsy out here, as much as we do minimum wage, she's about to get killed. They about to die by fries.
He loves to live fucking dangerous.
It's like, hey, dog, when the person in the back was saying, you talking, you talking like you a parent. I was,
what's
that right there would have been
long? What's taking so long? They have to load the gun.
He think he's somebody daddy, and I killed my daddy.
Was. Yeah.
I killed my last
They're back there with the fry grease. They're back there with all types of utilities.
My daddy used to burn me with cigarettes just like this. Oh my God. What are you doing, Newsy? I was so disappointed. And honestly, I know he wouldn't agree, but I think he needs rehab. I do. Not for the weed, but just life. It's just life stuff. He might want to, it might do him some good. He thinks it's a waste of time, but like, you're lashing out. You delete the sex app. Next thing you know, you want to fight people in fucking Burger King. That's not safe.
Subconsciously, you're doing suicide by employee. Why?
Yes. You want to die because you can't have sex on sniffies and smoke weed. Maybe the weed was keeping you calm. I bet you if you was high, you wouldn't have been yelling at them like you was a fucking daddy. That's that weed talking. You needed them nuggets, dog. Rehab is so fucked up though, because like any reason he has against being there is the reasons why you have to be there.
Right.
And you're like, I don't really need this. You don't really need this.
We were joking that like he's there with his arms folded. First of all, I would act like, hey, I have to be here anyway. At least let me. I'd like to think I'm getting something out of it, but at least let me at least pretend I'm getting something out of it so I can get early release. He has his arms folded. He's like, I shouldn't be here. Also, yes, I'm missing teeth, but that's unrelated.
Right.
Like, okay, this is something everybody would say.
I also picture in my head that Newsy actually has planned out a character arc for his character. Like it's not just arm folded guy every time. In his mind, he's like, but by the 5th meeting, I'm leaning forward. I'm into it. They're gonna go, it worked. You can go. You don't need no more rehab. You came full circle. You may now go have a job. And that's not what's going to happen. They're just going to make you fulfill whatever the fuck.
They're going to extend it. They're going to be like, nope, no change in
Everyone's
attitude.
tried all the shit before. And like I said, every answer leads back to you're an addict. If you say, I want to be there, they go, good, because you're an addict. If you say, I don't want to be there, they're like, well, of course, you're an addict. You don't want to be here. So, yeah, just do the time and good luck.
You know what, guys? You should all be here. But I'll be honest, it's 15, 16 years ago. We had a kid in here. He did not belong here. And we'll just try to keep an eye on that in the future. But it has happened. It has happened.
Also, I like that Newsy say he talked to them or whatever. And I'm like, they've heard everything.
Of course.
And so I know they're bullshitting him, but he's like trying to bullshit them back where they're like, he's like, but I don't really need to be here. And they're like, yeah, you don't. Yeah, you just keep coming back. It's no big deal. We'll see you next week. But
see you next week.
You of course don't need it. Come on. If you don't need it, then it can't hurt, right? So we'll see you next week at 7. Right?
Legally, you can't teach it yet. So you just come and we'll keep doing it that way.
It's really so everybody else doesn't think they can leave. So you come and then you'll be a good example to them. That they're like, he's a good sport. He's doing it even though he don't. He got his shit together.
You could be the role model.
It's the rest of us who don't have their shit, that do have their shit together.
He ends up thinking he's Gary Busey in Sober House. Like, I'm one of the teachers. Like, no, you're not.
WEED stands for we are. Oh man, but yeah, that was an amazing story. Keith, do you have anything more current event before we get out of here?
No, I think that's everything. KeithAndTheGirl.com/VIP. You can check out this very show you're listening to now. We do every week, and of course, this is in the regular feed because we're talking politics and it's important. But every week we do this, and the Morrows, of course, are great. Every week we do Q&A with the chat pack and that group. It changes, but it's always so fun. So KeithAndTheGirl.com/VIP. And if you're new to Keith and the Girl, take a look at KeithAndTheGirl.com/dad, DAD. And if you're thinking like, oh, my dad's dead, you'll feel better about that.
There you go, guys. So until next time, peace.